So tell us about your VA experience using the VA home loan.
Well, I decided to not use my VA loan, and it turned out the house I bought was full of cats.
Do you like cats?
Real estate is the #1 way for people to be wealthy in this country, and less than 12% of veterans actually use their VA loan. What takes civilians like years and years to save up for a down payment on their property, you can do right now. So watch this video in its entirety, because if you want to be wealthy, I promise you real estate is the #1 way to get there. And for veterans using their VA loan, it is unbelievably easy, but it starts with knowing what the VA loan is and actually how it works. Okay, so first, who's actually eligible for the VA loan? Well, if you're active duty and you have an honorable, other than honorable, or general discharge, you guys too, then you're eligible for the VA loan. National Guard members and reservists are also eligible if they've completed at least 6 years, or if they were active duty for 90 days or more, or if they had a service-connected disability. Okay, so there's so many misconceptions about what the VA loan is. A lot of people have thrown around so many myths with it, and a lot of people don't even know what it is. Well, the VA doesn't actually give you out a loan. They pretty much just back your loan. Banks give you the money just like in a traditional home loan. But the reason why the VA loan works so well is because people who participate in the VA loan pay what's called a funding fee. And so that funding fee goes into a pool of money, and the VA uses that pool of money to pretty much tell the banks, hey, if this person defaults on their mortgage, we've got the funds set aside to make sure that we can pay you guys. And that gives the banks confidence. And that's why if you use your VA loan, that's how you can put down $0. That's why these banks trust the VA, and that's why the VA loan works so well. So if it's your first time using the VA loan, then your funding fee is gonna be 2.3% of the total loan amount. If it's not your first time, or you're putting down a down payment, I'm gonna put some numbers up on the screen, but if you're putting down a down payment, I don't really recommend that. In my next video that I'm gonna be talking about, I'm gonna explain why. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell just so you're notified for when that video actually comes out. But it's one of those misconceptions that I feel people have about the VA loan, and I think that it's unnecessary to put down a down payment for a VA loan. So that funding fee that you're gonna pay, the 2.3% if it's your first time, that can either be paid at the end of when you buy the property. That 2.3% can also be wrapped into the total loan amount. So pretty much you don't have to pay anything out of pocket right now. That 2.3% can just get added onto the loan as an additional amount. And then you're just gonna be paying, like a little tiny bit more per month to compensate for that 2.3%. I think that's a better route to go, so that way you're not giving up your liquid cash. Okay, so why is the VA loan such a freaking amazing, powerful financial building tool? 2 reasons. The first reason is that you don't have to put any money down, 0 down payment. That is freaking great. Like I said before, civilians have to save 10, 15, 20% just to put down for a house. That could take years and years to do, and that's why a lot of people don't buy a house until they're like 30, 35. You don't have to do that. Like, think about how powerful that is. If you put less than like 15% as a civilian, you're gonna have to pay PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. That's an additional cost that you have to pay every single month. It's like hundreds of dollars. And the reason for that is to give that bank that warm and fuzzy feeling that, you're putting in a little bit extra money, so they're able to set that aside. So if you default on your mortgage, they're able to pull from that money and no losses to them. So it's kind of like the VA is saying, hey, we've got you. We're not gonna let that happen. And that's why the banks trust the VA loan for putting $0 down. Whereas when a civilian does it, they have to pay PMI. So for both those reasons, 0% down and no PMI, that is one of the best things that comes with the VA loan. And it's why you can use your VA loan today if you have the funds to do it, which is pretty much nothing. And you can get your first property when you're like early 20s. Okay, so with all of our videos, we really like to emphasize how to get started, because again, this channel is not just about giving you information, it's about getting that information and taking action with it. So what do you need to do right now to start that process for the VA loan? First, you're gonna wanna get your certificate of eligibility. That's usually abbreviated COE. You can go to your e-benefits website and you can get that for yourself, or you can just have your lender do it. I say let them do it. Speaking of lenders, you're gonna wanna shop around, go to a few different people and get the interest rates that they're gonna give you. If they're gonna be charging you service fees and stuff like that, that's unnecessary. There are lenders out there who are not gonna charge you a service fee to work with them and can give you a low interest rate. You know, VA loans, again, unfortunately, if a lot of you guys have experienced this, are one of those things that people like to take advantage of. They like to take advantage of military members because they don't really look at their options. So I'm gonna be talking about a video about, you know, that going into that process for how you can find a lender, shopping around and going into those details. So again, fucking hit that bell so that way you're notified when that comes out. So you're gonna need to give these lenders your proof of income. If you're still in the military, that's pretty easy. If you're not in the military, you can still use your VA loan. Don't think that it's only for active duty military. That's one of those myths that I was talking about. You can use your VA loan for the rest of the time of your life if you're a veteran. So you just need to submit your proof of income for whatever your job is. They're pretty much gonna use that proof of income and your credit score and your debt to income ratio, all that crap. They're gonna look at that stuff and say, okay, here's the loan amount that we're gonna approve you for. It used to be based on, It used to be based on, the zip code. But it's not really, they don't do that anymore. They pretty much just look at your income and they'll give you like a loan proportional to your income. Okay, so the next step of that is you're gonna wanna analyze the market where you're looking to buy a house. For the VA loan, it has to be a property that you're intending on living in. The criteria is that you're gonna be moving in the next 60 days. So, you know, if you're buying a place and it's currently occupied and that person is gonna be moving out, you're gonna give them a 30-day notice or whatever, then that'll work too. It doesn't have to be vacant as soon as you buy the property. You just have to have the intent of living in there. You're gonna wanna shop around for whatever area that you're looking to buy the house in, keeping in mind that you're gonna have to live in it. And you want to make sure that you're not overspending. That's going to be one of those things that I'm going to be talking about when I'm talking about the going through the lenders and really going through the whole VA home buying process. But that's a very important aspect of it. You know, using your VA loan is one of the best financial decisions that you can make, especially early on. You know, that time factor, the earlier you buy it, the better it's going to be for you in your life. But you're not going to see that benefit if you're overspending on the property, because you're not going to get that appreciation and the rent that you're eventually going to charge tenants for when you move out. It's not going to match as well to what you're paying in your mortgage because you overspent on the property. So, you know, really, you want to look at those details. You want to make sure that you're not overspending on the property. Look at comparables in that area and make sure that you're not overspending. There's some safety nets with the VA loan that prevent that from happening. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about that in a later video, but just know that for your own financial education, you should make sure that you're not overspending on things and really trying to find that good deal. So I know I said a lot of like confusing type stuff, maybe, but people who you're gonna be working with get paid to do this stuff. So just let them worry about all the confusing stuff. Just say, you know, I wanna buy a home, I wanna use my VA loan, and they're gonna figure out how to get it for you. That's how it was for me when I bought mine, was, you know, they were throwing out all these terms, all these processes. I had no idea what they were talking about, but you know, at the end I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. I can do it again now. So our take on the VA loan. Real estate will make you wealthy. It's not a gamble, as much as some people might say. You know, a lot of people are scared of getting into the real estate market because of the 2008 crash. But all of these people who are deterring you away from real estate, look at them, look at their net worth, look at how wealthy they are. What have they done? If they haven't done anything, then that should be a good indicator to you that you probably shouldn't listen to them. Yeah, some other people might have experience with things. You should learn from other people's failures, but at the end of the day, take everything with a grain of salt, because, you know, if someone's talking to you and they haven't actually done it, then they don't know. Real estate will make you wealthy. It is the #1 way to be a millionaire in this country. There are more millionaires from real estate than there are anything else. But the thing is that you really want to start early, because like I said earlier, that time metric is really on your side with this stuff. The earlier you can buy it, the sooner you're going to be able to pay it off. You can use real estate in so many beneficial ways that we're gonna talk about. The easiest way for real estate to work out with you is for you to just hold that property for 30 years, and at the end of that 30 years, you are gonna be cash flowing so much money. That can be your retirement right there. If you only bought 1 or 2 properties until the age that you're 60, that's a backup retirement plan right there. And if you're using your TSP, then now you have 2 retirement funds, and that's, you barely did anything. And once you do it once or twice, you're gonna be like, I can do this 10 more times. And that's how people get wealthy in this country. But first, you know, we need to stop with that concept that the VA loan is a loan that you're gonna use to buy your first home. And look at what I said there, I said home, right? So many people want to wait to use their VA loan for their first home. And what that does is it causes people to wait until they pretty much don't need the VA loan anymore because they're making so much money from whatever their job is that they don't need to use the benefit of that super low entry point that the VA offers with no money down. They don't need to use that anymore. They can just put 10, 15, 20% down and do a traditional loan. So you pretty much never use their VA loan and you lost out on that opportunity to buy a house early on. That's why only 12% of veterans use their VA loan, is because they're waiting. They're saying, I'm gonna buy it at this next duty station. I'm gonna use it for when I get out of the military and I'm gonna move back to fucking middle of nowhere, Oklahoma or something, and I'm gonna buy my house there to live with my family. Okay, that's cool. You can reuse your VA loan. You can buy a house wherever you're at right now. If you're in San Diego, fucking Washington, God forbid, Virginia, but you can buy a house there and then you can sell it when you leave. You can rent it out when you leave. You can do so much with it and you can make a lot of money doing that or have a new property that you can rent and cash flow every month. So stop waiting. It's not for your first home. It is for your first home if you're not looking to do what this channel is about. But if you want to be wealthy, if you want to have that early retirement, if you want to make a good financial foundation for you and your future generations, then the VA loan should be an investment. And it should be something that you're looking to start in the next year or 2 years max. You shouldn't be waiting, you shouldn't be waiting, you should be waiting. Because that's how you look back 20 years from now and realize, I never fucking did anything. And it's because we get fixated on analysis paralysis, where you're analyzing a deal so much that you don't take any action, or you're just analyzing the information so much and you never take action. That is one of the most toxic things that you can fall into. And I'm telling you, if you're gonna wait and say, I'm gonna do it in the future, it will likely never happen. I'm not trying to be harsh with that shit. I'm just telling you the reality of it. If you wanna be wealthy, you have to start taking action now. So like I said, go get your certificate of eligibility. Go find 3 lenders that you can talk to. See what you can get pre-approved for. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not gonna be any harm to you on your credit or anything like that. And you can see what you're pre-approved for. Next, go on Zillow and look at like wherever your local real estate area is and think to yourself, okay, well, maybe I might not buy a house right now. Don't let that stop you. Just still look and say, okay, I'm pre-approved for this much. This is how much the local market is, and you can try and practice and find a good deal in that area. And if it looks promising, then what are you waiting for? Just do it. I've seen so many people make so much money from selling their VA loan house, their house that they bought with the VA loan when they left their duty station. I know multiple people in San Diego who bought a house when they got there. 3 years later when they left, they sold it for $100,000 more than what they bought it for. So take action. Don't wait. Fucking get out there and make fucking money and stop waiting. Beef. Okay. Hopefully that whole thing was good because I didn't fucking check it once.